Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to play the rhythm guitar for Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. And it sounds like this. In this Sweet Child of Mine guitar lesson, we're going to look at all the chords and the structure and the strumming that you're going to need to be able to play this song. So let's kick off with the verse part. It's also the rhythm guitar part in the intro, and it's based around some open chords. So we've got D major, then we've got C add 9, and we've got G, and then back to D. Okay, so let's just look at how to play those. D is index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. It is 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B, and middle finger on the 2nd fret of the E string, and the open D string as well. You just want to strum those high 4 strings. Okay, then for C add 9, it's middle finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, index finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, then you've got an open G, and then you've got 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B, little finger on the 3rd fret of the E. And you just strum the 5 strings, just don't strum the low one. And then for the G, keep your little finger and your 3rd finger where they are, and then your middle finger and your index finger just go down 1 string. So your middle finger is now on the 3rd fret of the E string, and your index finger is on the 2nd fret of the A string. You can see them. There we go. If you're unsure about any of these chords, don't worry. In the link to our website in the description, we'll have a full write-up, and it'll have all the chord diagrams and everything you need. Okay, so let's look at the strumming. Sounds like this. Okay, so you can see I'm keeping my hand going, and I'll count out what beats I'm strumming on. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're doing a downstroke on the 1, and we're doing an upstroke on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I would start with that. And then when you're comfortable with it, you can try and make it a little bit more rhythmic by doing a sort of a muted down strum on the 3. 1 and 2, sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Sorry, it is a downstroke on the 1, 1 and 2 and, but it's on the and of 2, not the and of 3, it's the and of 2. And on the 2, you can do this muted downstroke. So to get that, you kind of want to pick the strings at the same time as using, you can just see that on there, you're using your palm to mute the strings as well. So you won't hear any sound because your palm is getting there just a fraction of a second before the pick, so it's muting all those strings. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so if you're not sure about that, just check out the website again. We'll have a diagram there of the strumming pattern showing what beats you need to hit the strings on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so it's 2 times on each chord, and that just goes round. And after that, we get into the chorus. And the chorus is power chords. So we've got an A5, and then a C5, and then a D5, and another D5. Okay, so if you're unsure how to play them, a power chord is just only three strings at a time. So it's open for the A5. 5 means power chord. A5, the open A string, and then 2nd fret on the D, and 2nd fret on the G. So you get. Okay, and you're only going to hit those 3 strings. And I like to use my index finger to play both of them. It's like a little mini bar, because then when I go up to the C power chord, the C5, it's kind of already ready for it. So that is index finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then it's going to be 5th fret of the D and 5th fret of the G. You can either play that with your little finger, or you can do another mini bar with your 3rd finger. Okay, and then just move the whole thing up 2 frets for the D5. Okay, so root note here is the 5th fret of the A string, that's your D, and then it's 7th fret on the D and 7th fret on the G string. Okay. Same strumming pattern. Okay, and then it goes back into the guitar solo, you know, that part. Underneath that, that's what we're looking at in this lesson, is it's just the verse chords again. So okay. So there's nothing new there, it's just got something different over the top of it. And then we go into the verse again, and then we go into another chorus, and nothing's changed yet. And then we've got another guitar solo, back into the verse chords. And then we've got this chorus 3, which is where the whole song starts getting a little bit heavier. So I'm going to turn on a little bit more drive for this part. And I'm just going to show you the chords again. It is the same chords as the previous chorus, so still A5, C5, D5, but there's this cool little rundown. I expect it's probably the lead guitar, but it's really nice, and we can get it in here. So what that is, aside from the chorus chords which we know, A5, C5, D5, over the 2nd D5 we've got this run, which is basically, it's a D major arpeggio sort of sound, but it starts on the 4th and then it runs down to the flat 7th, but it's a really cool sounding lick. So what this, you can think about this as based on a D major bar chord here on the 10th fret, coming off the low E string. Okay, so what you need, middle finger on the 11th fret of the G string, and then it's a semitone bend, so that takes you up to what would sound like the 12th fret, and then back down, and then we're going to go 12th fret on the D string, sorry, and then 12th fret on the A string with your same finger, so you're just doing a roll. So start that on the D string with the sort of fingerprint part of your finger, and then roll onto the tip of your finger. So go. and then that leaves your index finger ready to go on the 10th fret of the A string, and then it slides down to the 9th on the A string. So altogether we've got, and then by doing that slide, your middle finger is perfectly placed to go on the 10th fret of the E string, and there's a little stretch to the 8th fret of the E string. So altogether it's this. Alright, I'll get it really close for that. It's sort of a lead part, but it sounds really cool, so we'll stick it in with the rhythm part as well. Okay, so it's 11, bend up, back to 11, 12, 12, 10, slide to 9, 10, stretch to 8. And the timing of that is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I like to put in a palm muting maybe on the last couple of notes. So all together, it's going to sound like this, this chorus 3. Alright, so that's something, if you like it and you want to practice it, great, and then you can stick it in. But if you don't want to do that, you can just do the D5 over where that would be. Okay, after that we're into the guitar solo 3, and the chords change quite a lot here. So we're now into the E minor bar chord. We're all onto bar chords now, so it sounds like this. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with bar chords, remember, just check out the link to our site. There's a whole course on bar chords there, it'll help you get used to it. But just to quickly go through what we're doing, with a bar chord, you're just fretting on all the strings with your index finger, and then you're using your other fingers to play the rest of the chord. So this first chord is E minor, root note on the A string, 7th fret, and then off of that is what we would call based on an A minor shape. So it's going to sound like this. It's going to be a bar, all on the 7th fret. So it's going to go 7th fret on the A string, 9th fret with your 3rd finger on the D string, 9th fret with your little finger on the G string, 8th fret with your middle finger on the B string, and then 7th fret with your index finger doing a bar on the high E string. So, and it should sound like this. All right. What you might find is that if you're not comfortable with bars yet, you're just getting used to it, you might have that sort of thing happening. Just remember, you need to sort of get the pressure on that string as well. Okay. After that, it goes to a C major. Okay. Very similar sort of hand shape. You can just move that up a fret and up a string, but technically this bar now is off the root. The root note is on the low E string, which is a C there on the 8th fret, and then it's based on an E major shape. So the notes, or the frets are 8, 10, 10, 9, and then 8, 8 with the bar. So because it's off the low E string now, we've actually got to bar 2 strings. We've got to bar the B and the E up here. So that's probably going to be a bit tougher to get them all ringing out clearly. Okay, and then it's B. So it's exactly the same shape now, just move it down a fret. Okay, so the frets are 7, 9, 9, 8, 7, 7. Remember, all these chord diagrams are going to be on the site as well. And then we move down 2 frets more to an A major, same shape again. Frets are 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5 across the strings. Okay. The strumming pattern is still the same. Okay, but it's just one time on each chord now, compared to in the verse it was twice on each chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and you're going to go around that twice, and then we're into the sort of outro guitar solo 4 section, and it comes back down and gets heavy again. So I'm switching pickups to my bridge pickup. It just gives a bit more bite. And it sounds like this. Right, so this is all power chords again, so they're all 5 chords or power chords. It's E5, so that's open, E string, and then 2nd fret on the A and 2nd fret on the D. And again, I'm trying to play them both with one finger. And then it's G5, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 5th fret. And then it's A5, 5, 7, 7, 5th fret, 7th fret, 7th fret. And then it comes up to a C5, which is 8th fret, 10th fret, 10th fret. And then a D5, which is 10, 12, 12. And then back down to a G5, which was 3, 5, 5. So we've got that same rhythm for most of this on the E and the G and the A, but then we've got on the C it goes that sort of rhythm. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we've got the 1, the C, 5 on the 1, the D is on the 3, and the G is on the 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that brings us back around to the E5. We'll do that slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. And that builds the solos, the guitar solos sort of building across that, and it gets to the, and then it kind of drops down a bit. So at that point you can just do. So you can do the same rhythm, but just you can do palm muting there, just to bring the dynamics down a little bit. Now to do that, you rest this part of your palm on this part of the guitar. So basically where the strings go live really, so where they're going to actually be vibrating, you want to be just over that. If you go too far, it kind of changes the pitch of the note and then eventually just mutes them completely. If you just try it going further back down, if you go too far the other way, the string just rings out normally. So just experiment up and down the string, just to get that palm muting chunky sound that you want. Right, and then it builds back up again. Okay, and we have that riff. And that's another cool sort of lead sounding bit, but that's definitely on the rhythm section as well. So the notes or the frets that we're doing here are 7th fret on the A string to 5th fret, and then 7th fret on the E string, 6, 5, 5, 3, and then we're back into the E5. So what we're playing there is an E minor blues scale. So it goes up to the A, and then we've got, and it just runs down that blues scale. Alright, and we'll have the sort of scale shape of that on the site as well. And then to end it, we just slow it right down. So C, D, G, and then you can end on a Z. Great. So that is all the rhythm guitar sections for Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. Remember, check out the link in the description below for our website, and it will have a full write-up on there, and it will also have links like if you're unsure about bar chords, that sort of thing. We've got full courses on that, so check them out as well. And if you like what we're doing, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more of this kind of stuff. All right, thank you.